Guys, this is your video for the Irregular Figures, which is DIY 3. On the front of the page, you're going to have an area and perimeter review, so you may need to get out your foldable or get out your formula chart to get your formulas so that you can figure these out. I'm not going to work these with you because these are all things that are review. Okay, I'm going to work with you the stuff that is new stuff that may be a little bit more difficult for you. So, if we go to the back, this is what our composite figures are. So our composite figures are more than one of our usual two-dimensional shapes that are put together. So notice here, we've got one rectangle here, we've got another rectangle here, and then we have a triangle. Or we have half of a triangle. So what we're going to have to do is figure out the easiest way for me, anyway, is to figure out the area of this one, figure out the area of this one, the area of this one, and then combine it all together. So notice your directions. Find the area of the regular figures. Show your work in a very organized way and label your answers. So I do not want to see scribble scrabble all over the paper. I want to see a nice, neat, orderly set of work here. So I'm going to do the little one first. So in order to find the area of a rectangle, we have to do area equals length times width. So in this case, we would do 4.5 times 3. Notice, nice, neat, and orderly, just like we talked about in our small group. We do our formula first, then we substitute in our numbers, then we go through and answer the questions. So I'm going to come right here to the side and do 4.5 times 3. So 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. So we have one decimal place in our problem. So we would put one decimal place in our answer. So this one is going to be an area of 13.5 square meters. Okay, notice our units are square meters. Now for the big rectangle. Oops. Didn't mean to draw all over it. For the big rectangle, once again, we have a rectangle, so area equals length times width. Always write your formula first. So this one is going to be 12 times, how tall is this one? 3. So we know this was one of our multiplication facts, so this one shouldn't be too bad. 12 times 3 is going to be, let's see here, 36, and we're dealing with meters. So we have square meters again. And then for this one, this is where we have our triangle. Triangles always seem to trip people up for some reason. They're really not that bad, but they always seem to get tripped up on them. So for our triangle, our area equals 1/2 of the base times height. But do we have a whole triangle here? No, we do not. We only have half of a triangle. So you need to, when you figure all this out, I'm going to divide it by 2 because I need to split it in half. I only need half of the answer. So this is 1/2 of our base, which is 3, times our height, which is 7.5. So half of 3 is 1.5. So we have 1.5 times 7.5. We'll come over here to the side and work it out. So 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 2 is 37. Bring down my 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 7 is 7. So we have 5, 12, and 11. And I have 2 decimal places in my problem. So I put 2 decimal places into my answer. So this one is going to be 11.25 square meters. But for my triangle, I need half of that. So we're going to end up having to round in order to get this. So we have 11.25 divided by 2. Okay, 2 cannot go into 1, but 2 can go into 11 5 times, which is 10. So subtract to get 1, bring down my 2. 2 goes into 12 6 times. So 6 times 2 is 12. Subtract and bring down my 5. 2 goes into 5 2 times, which is 4. Okay, I've got to add a 0 because I'm not quite done. So now this is 5. So we need to round this, make it a little easier to deal with. So we're going to round it to the hundredths place. So we're going to round to this 2 here. With this 5, am I going to go up or stay the same? Well, I have 5, so I am going to go up. So I'm actually going to use 5.63 meters squared. So now all I need to do is combine all of these answers into one. Remember, combine means we're going to add. So when we add, we do have to definitely line up our decimals. So I have to do 36 plus 13.5 plus 5.63. So I'm going to bring my decimal down, add in my zeros here. So 3, 0, 0 is 3, 6, 5, and 0 is 11. 6, 3, 5, and 1, let's see, that's going to be, 12, 13, 14, 15. And 3, 1, and 1 is 5. So my final answer is 55.13 square meters. I kind of covered up my decimal there. So what you need to do for these others is you need to find each of these areas and then add them together. So notice here we have the area of a rectangle, which is length times width. We have the area of a triangle, but we have 3 triangles. These are all exactly the same. So when you get the area for this one triangle, just multiply it by 3, and that will give you your total area for your triangles. And then here we have half of a circle. So whenever you do your area is pi r squared, you need to divide that by 2. So I'll even help you out a little bit here. I'm going to write your formulas for you. For this one, this is area equals length times width. For these 3, remember they're all the same, area equals 1/2 base times height. Now then you have to multiply it by 3. For area of a circle is pi r squared, but then you have to divide this one by 2. So don't forget to do those extra steps. This is 1/2 base times height. This is 1/2 base times height. So make sure you find the area of each one and then add it together. Number 11 is a little tricky. So here it says the circles are congruent. What is the radius of one of the circles? Okay, so we know this line all the way across here is going to be 18. So now you need to split that up into 6 equal pieces, and that will give you what your radius is. So remember, area of a circle is pi r squared. And how many circles do we have? We have 3 half circles, so we have 1½ circles. And then you need to find the area of your rectangle. Area is length times width. And then you need to combine all of that together. Yes, I realize this is going to be tricky. I never said it wasn't going to be. But you need to make it nice, neat, and organized so that everything is all together and you're able to make sense of your work. If you just go through and start scribbling all over the place, guys, you're not going to make any sense. And you're not going to be able to find your answers. So nice, neat, organized. If you want to work it on a separate sheet of paper and attach it to it, that is perfectly acceptable. So be sure if you're having any trouble finding area of any of these shapes that you let me know, and I will be more than happy to help you. You can also request a workshop. Okay? Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.